Hi, I'm Kim from the School of Inspiration, and I would like to share with you today some interesting information about the benefits of line design and the benefits that brings about in slow looking. I've started my practice quite a few years ago and I found it beneficial in so many ways. Just join me as we get going, just with a simple little piece of cardstock or even paper, something even smaller, whatever you have, sticky note if that's what you have, a pen or a thin felt tip marker is beautiful to draw with, and then just sort of have a pencil or some sort of shading stick. This is a tortillon, but you can use a piece of tissue, a Q-tip, even your finger. So join me as we look at the benefits of slow looking.
Hi, I'm Kim from Kim Master Martino's School of Inspiration, and I'm going to share with you today a little bit about information about slow looking. So let's take a look at the benefits of line design and relaxing and slow looking. And at the end of this short time together, there's a free gift link that I'm going to give you for a mini course and a free downloadable PDF. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to talk a little bit about the importance of slow looking, finding your inspiration, and easy beginning steps to develop your practice. So I find inspiration in lots of different places. Simple looking gets me inspiration more and more the more I do it. I was working on some mandalas. I saw this beautiful bike spokes, and out came just some practice in line design and making a circle pattern. Let's take a look at how slow looking can help develop skills across a lot of different disciplines. So Emily Baudreau from Usable Knowledge just put out a new article, probably just a month or so ago, January 23rd, and she talks about that 8 seconds is the estimate length of a human attention span, and she talks more about lots of different ways about how slow looking can support students. It can also support adults in developing practices that help with calmness and ability to improve observation skills. So she talks about slow looking as the practice of observing detail over time to move beyond a first impression and create a more immersive experience with a text or an idea, a piece of art, or any other kind of object. It's a practice that clears a space to hold and appreciate the richnesses of the world we live in. And I've used slow noticing, slow practicing, slow observing in line design to help me think about my work with modern quilting. She talks about that 8 seconds is really the latest estimate of the length of the human attention span, and that in this age of rapid information change, we need opportunities and we need experiences to actually develop that slow looking. So how do you hold on to your inspirations, and what mediums and processes support your inspiration? There's also, what I've been discovering is a link between anxiety and creativity, and many creative people are also anxious people. And so I've found a very simple practice of line design helps me enjoy the little things. Thinking about looking at physical or conceptual systems and how they're put together and how they can be taken apart is a powerful strategy for slow looking and close looking. And appreciation by slow looking helps us to develop an appreciation for complexity and how small pieces can come together to form a larger whole. And then in turn, it can inspire everyone to use what they know to make new designs and new systems. It builds off the ideas of others to help think together. It's powerful when it's done in groups. It builds on the excitement that gets generated. And a member of the community can share something that will spark new thinking or bring new eyes to something that other people may be developing. Finding more and more to notice. Notice what strikes you as obvious, your first impression, what's hidden, what you can discover. Drawing simple line designs can improve meaningful insights, especially if the point of the activity isn't actually to draw an actual picture. It's the point of the activity is to notice more detail. So developing your artistic voice and artistic hand requires discipline. So I invite you now to grab a pen, a paper, and enjoy a practice with me in slow noticing. So to get started, you're going to need a quiet place and 15 minutes to yourself. Step 2, have a pen and paper ready. And step 3, begin your practice of slow looking to find and share inspiration. So join me as I build a simple line design that you can use for lots of purposes, but the purpose isn't to build a pretty pattern. The purpose really just is to enjoy the experience of the line design and notice how the lines move and lay on the paper.
So let's just take a couple of minutes and see what all this slow looking is about. So I'm going to share with you a pattern called Bella Posa. Simple steps that can be remembered easily. So I'm going to just start with a little bit of a loop on the bottom and then add a couple more loops underneath. Beautiful. To add a little bit of detail on that, I'm just going to bend some lines that come in the middle. They can meet at the tops, they can be wider at the tops, whatever looks good for you. And then add a little bit of a curlicue on there. And I'll add another side over here. Simple line design, relaxing, and building towards just quiet time and noticing the line. So I'm going to add another one that will come up on this side, a loop, another loop, and just bringing that line right down to match, and a third one. Again, adding some detail, line to line, slow and relaxing, and just noticing how they're meeting down at the bottom, but they're wider at the top. Just helps to give it a little bit of perspective and a little bit of movement. And then just quietly drawing a couple more loops. Sometimes it's nice to add little berries, little circles that come in the middle. And then I'll just add another one, this time going the other direction. Slow looking, noticing the design, noticing the pattern and the flow. Step 2, adding the detail in the middle. Step 3, adding the curls. And step 4, adding some berries. Now just to make, again, something that has a little bit of depth, noticing where there might be a shadow, I'm just going to turn my card. That's one of the benefits of using a small piece of paper. Just where there might be a shadow, I'm just drawing some little bits of pencil. Again, nothing fancy. Might be some shadow in there, shadow there, shadow underneath, and then just blending it just to give a little bit of contrast. And noticing where shadows might appear, where there may be more highlights. Just going to add a little bit of leftover shading underneath, and I'll do the same on these. Just a little bit light pencil, and then blending it in. Again, just noticing where shadows might appear. Doesn't have to be perfectly placed from a light source, but just generally where they might appear. And so we've taken just a couple of minutes to notice a little bit about line and design and about shadows, and we've made a little card that might come in handy one day to give to a friend.
So as you experienced that, what did you notice? Did you notice that your mind wasn't thinking about other things? How did you feel? Did you notice that worries of the day may have gone by the side as you were focusing on where to put the mark, how to draw the curve, where to put the tiny circles, where might I start the next curve? So just think about how you felt and the experience of slow looking. So I'm Kim Master-Martino. I've been an educator for over 25 years, a certified Zentangle teacher and a modern quilter, and I'm developing line design courses that help a variety of crafters, a variety of people in their roles. It's a simple practice of line design to help build observation skills. And so I just ask you to picture yourself here in my course and think about how we can inspire each other. So you can find me on Facebook within my School of Inspiration and on Instagram. So in my School of Inspiration, you can find a couple of courses. There's a Zentangle Inspired Art beginner course, free mini course, and a shading course. So you can just click on this free mini course. It gives you a sample of what the larger course is about and how you can develop your practice, beginner practice of line design, and it gives you this PDF that gives you some sample patterns for you to practice on your own. And then if you're interested, you can go to the Zentangle Inspired Art class, and you can take a look at the whole curriculum that's there. It probably takes about 2 to 3 weeks to work through, and it will give you a solid foundation in line design and begin to build your own practice. And so I invite you to join me to begin your practice of line design and join us in our community and share and inspire each other with your line design and your application of line design. I hope to see you there soon.